Live look outside now from Lookout Mountain. A lot of us woke up to some fresh snow on the ground. More is on the way this week. And while the weather app on the phone may have some totals and percentages, this is not the time to rely on that. 9 News Weather Impact Team meteorologist Chris Bianchi explains why.
All right, here, folks, it's that time of the year again. Be careful with automated weather apps on your phone. Here's the reason why. You've probably heard at this point that we've got a chance for some meaningful snow across parts of the Front Range, across parts of eastern Colorado later this week. But there's a lot we don't know. In fact, there's more we don't know than we do know. So here's how those automated weather apps tend to work. They tend to change wildly because they depend on individual computer forecast model runs. And so exact figures, you might, for example, see 30.2 inches of snow during, if you check your app at, say, 1 o'clock. 5 hours later, you check that same thing, and it's going to show you maybe 1.4 inches of snowfall. So just be careful with those apps because they're reliant on model data, which tends to swing around pretty wildly when we're talking about these big storms. So here's the overall setup in terms of the end of the week. We've got an area of low pressure, what we term a cutoff low. It's an area of low pressure that is not attached to the jet stream. So think of a train off of its tracks. Point being, this area of low pressure is going to kind of sit and spin somewhere. Now, if that L is, say, 50 miles east, that means all the difference for us. And if it's 50 miles west, that makes another big change. But eventually, that area of low pressure is going to move its way off to the east and could give us a substantial snow for especially Friday and Saturday. But for an example, here's one computer forecast model which has that storm tracking way off to our south. Well, that means we don't get much. Here's another model which gives us a substantial snow in some cases here in southern Colorado, way more than that. So just worth noting when we're talking about those automated weather apps, be careful with them. They have many practical uses, but of course at 9 News, our app, we actually input the numbers in there. So hopefully you check out the 9 News app for your weather needs as we head over the next few days.